course of almost a decade of coaching online and moving from initially using 3 different platforms between message board and YouTube and text feedback and programming in spreadsheets, all the way into TurnKey Coach, which brings those all together into one format. So first thing I do, log into TurnKey Coach. Again, this is my personal account, Integral Barbell. And right off the bat, you can see very quickly, I'll zoom in here so you can see it, a summary at the top of all of the notifications that I have to take care of my clients. I can see all of them. I can filter by only completed workouts, programming notification, missed workout, which I don't have any, other notifications, which in this case we have 1 missed workout, 1 programming notification, and 1 nutrition notification. And then I can also have a control here to group by due date, so I can just see when they're all due. And I can also group by client, which is my preference because I like to work 1 client at a time. I can expand all of the workouts or collapse them. And I can also adjust some settings, which include clearing the workout after review and showing missed workouts. So if I don't want to see missed workouts, I can hide those. I prefer to see them because, again, as I talked about in the support section, seeing missed workouts is useful for me. Very quickly, you can also see that I have a direct message notification. I can click that and open it up and see a note from one of the clients that we'll go over here shortly. So the next thing I do is open up another window and split it in the screen. So now you can see that I have the Connect page on the right side of the screen and the workout on the right side of the screen. So in this case, what I'd probably do is slide this workout over, mark the notification complete, and then I might pop up and leave a message and just say something like this. Hey Darren, I saw you missed the workout yesterday, so I slid it over to Wednesday. I hope you get a chance to get this done. If not, let me know, and I'll adjust the calendar for the rest of the week. Hope you're having a good one, man. So I just recorded that voice memo, click send, real quick, check in. You can see the transcript loads once that's done processing. And so he can either listen to the voice memo or just read the text. Lately, I've been using a lot more voice memos because I think it adds a little bit more personal touch. And it's actually faster than typing, and I don't have to touch the keyboard. Once I'm done with that workout, then I'll just drag and drop. I grab this calendar icon and drag and drop the next workout or the next notification over. In this case, it is, we've got a couple of missed workout notifications, and you can see he's also got a nutrition workout notification. So this is why I like working 1 client at a time, because I can take care of multiple notifications in one shot, and I have a real quick summary of what's going on. So in this case, the client is traveling. They're over in Denmark. It looks, and they tweaked their back last week, which, by the way, is probably another thing that I should put in here. I believe it was this workout here. I'm going to just put a note, tweaked back. And now I have this reminder, and I'll also see it when I click notes. And I check the calendar. Now I know that I've got a tweaked back. And I might even add a label here, tweaked back, as a reminder. And that'll show up here. And then also when I go to the history or the next time the notification comes up on the Connect page, that'll show up here as a reminder. And then I'll probably also leave Eric another note here. You can see I'd already left him just kind of a check-in. He also had a birthday last week, so probably just leave another quick one here. Hey Eric, saw you missed the last couple of workouts. Checking in again. I'm guessing probably just traveling. Haven't been in the app in a while. Let me know what you are thinking for your schedule next week. I'm just going to copy the pause squat and floating deadlift and probably probably actually just copy this bench workout unless I hear from you before then to make sure you've got something in the calendar. Hope your back is feeling better and travel goes well back from Denmark, man. Have a good one. So I'll just send that quick note and we're good to go. Now I'll bring up the next client, and in this case completed the workout, couldn't get rep 8, so I had him programmed for 1x8 of 405. He got 7 max effort, and what we can do here is pull up the recent history so you can see his 5RM, 4RM, and he tied his 7RM from back in July. So that was the last time that he went through for a set of 8, and you can see that would have been a huge PR because it's listed here, I think, at about 355. So if he did get 8, it would have been a big PR from about a year and a half ago. So those are things that I can check in on. Also, just as a reminder, you've got all these metrics up here, tonnage. Now this is really interesting. You can see this slot in particular is a really big day, and that's because he's doing a big volume deadlift and quite a few sets of chin-ups. So this might actually be something that, as I'm looking at this, maybe I need to revisit this day. Now he's on a 4-week cycle, so every 4 weeks he repeats this Wednesday, and that's why I think you're seeing, that's what these spikes are here that you're seeing. And every once in a while it'll reset back. So this is a good way to check yourself to see if you're programming excessive volume. Now his consistency has been awesome. You can check in on that. Otherwise, in this case, I'd probably just leave a real quick note saying, strong work, man. No shame in tying your 7RM. Get it next time. And then maybe I'll leave a GIF. All right, and then I grab the calendar, drag it over, and I'm on to my last workout, which is a fully completed workout. Now in this case, this is actually my dad here, and we recently switched. This is an interesting example. He was doing a 3-day-a-week, 2 to 3 lift workout, and we actually met right around here at the end of last month, right after this Tuesday session, and we were just kind of talking through what his priorities are, which right now is playing as much golf as possible. So we decided to switch to 1 lift a day, lifting 5 days a week, and he kicked that off. And you can see now his workouts have been significantly shorter, 16-minute workouts. So you can see the duration here. We were right around 30 minutes for a while, and then we kind of switched over. This was when he was doing 2 lift days. Then we switched over to 3 lift days, and they were kind of floating up into the 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. And then, boom, we switched down to 1 lift a day. This is one of the reasons I like tracking duration, because I think it gives you a lot of insight into what the program effect has on their day-to-day life. You can also see fatigue. For the most part, everything's kind of normal, and occasionally some big spikes. And then difficulty, interestingly, you can kind of see the effect of making that programming change. You have more frequent easy workouts, more frequent not hard workouts, and fewer challenging workouts. So those are all things that I think are good metrics to pay attention to. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start the camera here. I'm going to turn off the camera that you can see of me right now, and I'll start doing a screen recording so you can see what an actual screen recording looks like. All right, here we go. Press the record button, share the screen. All right, Dad, here we go. Let's see how these squats went. 3x5 at 200. We're at 72.7%. Climbing our way back and steady here. Difficulty 3.3 is the garage was 80 degrees. Oof. Change the next squat to 205. Okay, got it. Fair enough, hip and knee feeling much better. Super glad to hear that. Let's see how these squats went. Sets 1 and 3. I know you love editing these, but just in case you didn't know, if you do upload multiple videos, it'll put it in a carousel and organize it for you. Really good squats here. Continues to look like you are dialed in on depth. If I were to guess, crease of your hip is right there. Down to the top of the kneecap. Doing a great job also setting your knees. I'm just looking to see how well you're able to get the knee in the forward position there and hold it. Excellent. Depth maybe a little bit. No, that looks good. Awesome. Balancing your foot looks good. No issues here. Glad to hear your hip and knee are feeling better. We'll go to 205. Then on Friday, all good. How about we try to, well, it looks like you're wanting to repeat. So maybe 205 next Tuesday as well. All good. Workout is still kind of in that 15-minute range. Hopefully that's still feeling good and working with your golf schedule. All right, Dad. Hope you have a good one. So you can see the video is uploading automatically. If I had more workouts, I could drag and drop and get started on those while it was uploading. But at this point, I am all done. Then I typically will check in on the direct messages. Actually, I usually like to check the direct messages at the beginning just in case it affects any of the workouts. Nice thing here, if I pop this up within the calendar, then I can just click the name, this link here, and it's going to open their calendar. Miss the 18-19 workout, unfortunately won't be able to make it up today with traveling. I'll be back at it Friday. So in this case, what I'd probably do is just select the next 2 workouts, drag them over to Friday. I'm just going to have him pick up with where he's at and leave a note here. No worries, man. It'll all be good. You can probably just pick up with what we had planned. Safe travels. There's also options to attach files, videos, etc. Lots of options there, but that is a real brief introduction of what it looks like to work through my flow. A couple other things that, again, this is a little bit of a preview that you'll be able to do going forward is set your review preferences. So you can upload a company logo, enable or disable the leaderboard, and then what we're going to be able to do is for each company, you'll be able to set your own workday and your review preferences. So right now it's hard-coded to give you a notification of that the workout is due for feedback within 24 hours during the weekday or 48 hours during the weekend. And this new feature is going to allow you to adjust that from anything from next day to 0 time limit. And then you can also set what your working days of the week are. So right now I've got it set for next day with working days Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I just check in on those 3 days and the workouts are all accumulated on that day as due. So some people only work once a week on video on their coaching, some people work every day, and you'll have the freedom to check that out. So that is TurnKey Coach in action. There's a lot more that we obviously covered in the specific sections, but I wanted to give you a demo of what it looks like when I do my workflow. That was legitimately what I would do for my individual business. If I go to the only difference when I go to my Barbell Logic online coaching account is that I have about usually 5 times as many notifications that's all I do. That's what it looks like, and hopefully you found that useful. We should now have Q&A for the folks that are live. I am traveling this week at the U.S. Grid League National Championships, but Mac and Dan are here to answer your questions. Thank you once again for joining another week of the Business of Coaching Workshop.
Okay, I think we are live. Guys, I'm the captain now. If we haven't met before, my name's Mac. I'm part of Andrew's team at TurnKey Coach. And if you just bear with me one moment, we'll see if there's any questions that have come up for me to answer. And if not, if we have time, I'll take you through another couple of features or concepts that you might not have considered yet. So Dan, have we got any questions, brother?
Right now, no.
Roger that. Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'm going to go through a couple of other features. And if there's any more questions that come in, I'll be happy to answer them and address them here. But this is a pretty cool one that Andrew didn't mention in his video, is we have a date block off feature, and it's a pretty cool way for your clients to communicate things to you without the need for additional messaging. So for example, if they have an event such as a vacation, or they simply need to block time in the calendar where they can't train, this here is me in my workout program, and what I can do, and this looks the same on your phone, is head up here to where it says calendar memo. And if you click in there, you'll see the block off date calendar pops up. And let's say, for example, I know that I'm going to block off some time in October because it is my 20th anniversary and I'm not going to train. I'm going to pop in here, scroll to the date that I want to block off, and then click the days, select the days that I want to communicate to my coach. And say here, dude, wedding anniversary, no training, or words to that effect. I'm going to click save. Now what you'll see here is I can also go to the month view. So if I click here and then scroll down, here's my current training, and if I scroll down to October, as if by magic, I've told my coach that this is happening. And we didn't need to have any other communication there. It's also pretty useful as well for the coach if they want to put some notes or events in the calendar for their client as well. But that's a really useful one. And again, to clear that off, all I would do, click on calendar memo, go in here, and I can just deselect the days, click save, and that will disappear. Okay, so that's the block off calendar. Let's come back. Dan, still pretty quiet out there?
Yep, as of now, no questions.
Okay, lovely.
There was some appreciation for Andrew's demo though.
Oh, cool. And if anyone else is out there and you're not using the video feedback feature, hopefully that's whetted your appetite and given you some food for thought, and you really are kind of missing out on the beating heart of the system. But if you are coaching online and you're coaching someone who's squatting and you don't tilt your head even though you're doing this on camera and remote and you're not in the gym, are you really coaching? Anyway, what else would be useful to cover here? I think a little bit of nutritional stuff may well be of use. Now, I don't have any nutritional clients right now, so I've gone to my made up roster. But one of the main things that we use at Barbell Logic Online Coaching for nutrition is a visual food diary. And it's a really useful compliance tool for getting your people to record what they eat, and you get to see what they're eating. And I wanted to show you what that could look like here. So if I click into open workout, You can see that I've prescribed someone a visual food diary, plus a little bit of written guidance. I just want you to keep a food journal for the next 3 days, and I want to see everything that you're eating / drinking. And I want you to post a video. Take a picture, post it up here, and you'll see that I've broken it down into meal times, also snacks. You can add additional guidance. So for example, in these first 3 days, don't change anything. I just want to see what you're doing right now. And that's what they have in here. You could also add, hey, I just want to get a handle on what your macros are right now, or your calories. And you can set them some metrics, just the macros by gram, by portion, if you like, perhaps some water intake. And what that gives you then is a tool that's not particularly difficult to understand. It's easy to articulate. Eat something, take a picture of it first, post it up here, and then if you're tracking any macros, pop them in. You could be a little more specific. Over here, we're saying, hey, these are your targets. And you can list them out, their average targets for the week, by day. And then, of course, they have the option, or I would say, you're asking them to then actually complete what they hit. So for today, if I was giving feedback, say, hey, these are the targets that I gave you. And they came back, I was a little shy in my protein today, overcooked my carbs a little, but I definitely overshot my fat. Then you have something to work with there in terms of giving your feedback. But a finished article, something perhaps a little bit more comprehensive, could be something like this, where I've given someone an actual meal plan or recipe plan to follow for the day. So you can drop a link in here. For example, this is a barbell logic recipe that Nikki put out a little while ago. So they have access to some instructions and some recipes. I've given them their macro targets, and I've asked them to take some pictures. And so here, now again, this is us at a Korean restaurant. It wasn't breakfast, but you can see portion size, you can see color, you can see the breadth of ingredients, are fruit, vegetable, what type of carbohydrate is it. You can see what they're drinking, and different colors, and the camera doesn't lie. And you see here, there's another meal plan. I've actually dropped that into the dinner box. And again, we can ask for their protein, their macros, plus anything else that you think is valuable for a nutrition client, whether that is something like a dress size, or a measurement like waist, or body weight, or body fat percentage. Those are all things that you can work into the nutritional side of life. For those of you who might not be au fait, we have 2 calendars. We have a resistance calendar, which is the little dumbbell, and the nutritional calendar, which is the knife and fork. And that's where you can create your nutritional programming. And if you do have any nutritional templates that you assign, so for example, the Take Charge 10 here is a nutrition template. When you assign that, it will go to the nutrition calendar. Okay. So let me come away and go to clients, come down here. And I think in terms of additional features and concepts, that's probably where I'll leave that there just now, and just invite the last couple of minutes for any more questions. Dan, still quiet?
Yes.
DJ Dan, thank you, buddy. Okay, that's probably it for now. I hope you guys have found that useful, given you some food for thought. If you have any questions, you know where to find us, and we'll see you next time. Dan, I think we're coming up to close. Oh yeah, if you do want to find out more, always happy to chat. And you can schedule a call with Andrew or myself at turnkey.coach/BOC call. Speak to you soon. Cheers.